Hey everyone, it's low carb and keto nutrition specialist Amy Berger bringing you the one and only keto without the crazy. Today's video was inspired by a comment that somebody left on one of my recent videos. And I won't say her name, but I do have her permission to read the comment and then we'll get into business. This video is really geared toward those of you who are looking to lose only a small amount of weight. But I hope that whether that is your situation or not, you'll watch this video. Maybe you'll learn something useful that is applicable to your situation, even if you are someone who's looking to lose a lot of weight, or you're not doing keto for weight loss at all. You're doing it for something else, but maybe this will still be helpful. So this person said, I only have 10 pounds to lose. Being a recent retiree, it's not so easy to maintain a good weight if you don't watch what you eat. I have to say I'm very active and go to the gym 3 times weekly. I'm having such a difficult time staying on track. My biggest obstacle is that I'm never full and feel satisfied. I hear from doctors on YouTube who say it's all about calories in, calories out. If that's the case, then I won't ever lose another pound because a 1,200 calorie diet plan is unrealistic and super difficult to follow. On one of your previous videos, meaning me, on one of your previous videos, you mentioned if you need more protein to be satisfied, then eat more protein, which blows the calories in, calories out plan out of the water. Please give me words of encouragement so I can help, so I can be a success and not a failure. Please help. So to this person, thank you for giving me your permission to share this, because it's probably a lot of people who could have written your post. Basically, this is a woman who, she says she's a retiree, so we can, she is of a certain age, as we say, and she is fairly active. She says very active, go to the gym 3 times weekly, and I think there's a typo here. I think she meant to say 3 times minimum weekly, but probably also active otherwise. And she is never full, never feels satisfied. It's all about calories in, calories out. Basically, she is at the point where she thinks she needs to starve herself to get the rest of this weight off, and she needs to be hungry all the time. And to anyone who's looking to lose a relatively small amount of weight, I want you to ask yourself, why? Why do you want to lose those last 5, 8, 10 pounds, whatever it is? Why? What will be different about your life when you are 5, 8, 10 pounds lighter? What is going to change in your life? What will you be, do, have, experience that you don't have now if you just lose 5 or 10 pounds? Why that number? What is it about that specific number? And I have a video I did on why I think it's very problematic to have a goal weight and why I really discourage people to wed themselves to one number that they're trying to get to. So I'll put a link in the notes there. And I may do an update to that because I need to refresh some old topics that I haven't talked about in a while. But what made you choose that number? Why 10 pounds? Why not 12? Why not 3? And it's okay if your answer is not something super profound, right? Because if we're talking about losing a relatively small amount of weight, that's not a life-changing amount of weight to lose, right? If you're only looking to lose that much, then most likely your mobility is not hampered by that amount of weight. Like, you can still go do everything you want to do. You do not have to get a seatbelt extender. You do not have to, you don't take up 2 seats on an airplane. You can fit in all the things you want to fit in, like in society. So this type of weight probably not hindering your physical, like assuming you are not disabled in some way, that you are able to go up and walk and go on a hike if you want, get up a flight of stairs, like that amount of weight, of extra weight by your own definition, is not impacting your ability to do anything you want to do in life. And so losing that amount of weight is probably solely an aesthetic goal, right? You just want to look a certain way, and that's fine. If that's why, then tell yourself that's why. I really, really want to lose these next 10 pounds or these last 10 pounds because I think I will feel better in my own skin. I think I will be happier with what I see in the mirror. Maybe there's some items of clothing in my closet that don't fit that probably will fit if I lose 10 pounds. Like, okay, that's fine. Your why, your reason for wanting to lose this weight does not have to be profound. But if it's not profound, then you have to ask yourself, how important is this to me? How important is it that I get rid of these last 5 or 10 pounds? How much of a priority am I willing to make it in my life? How much am I going to let it bother me until I get there? Because you might have to work harder than you're willing to work. You know, keto, sometimes people can arrive at their goal doing nothing but keto. Sometimes keto gets us really, really close. But then to go that extra last little bit of excess fat, or you, by your own opinion, is your excess fat, you might have to just do a couple of other things. Maybe you do need to restrict a little bit more. Maybe you, I don't know what, just need to do some things beyond just limiting your carbohydrate intake. So you have to ask what you're willing to do to go that extra length. And I definitely don't think that you should have to starve yourself. I don't think anyone should have to be eating 800, 900 calories a day to lose weight. If that's the case, then I think there's a hormonal problem that is hampering your body's ability to easily let go of excess adipose tissue, of excess fat. And I talk about thyroid all the time. I see this in clients all the time, either undiagnosed hypothyroidism, or a lot of people come to me already on thyroid medicine and they are on the wrong type of thyroid medicine or the wrong dose. I don't diagnose anybody, but I'm not an idiot. I've read the literature. I know the physiology, so I can give them information and make recommendations that they can then work with their medical prescriber to navigate their meds. But undiagnosed or improperly addressed hypothyroidism will absolutely make it harder to lose weight, even on a strict ketogenic diet and even with exercise. I've been there. So many of my clients have been there. And so if you think you might be in this situation, if you really truly are doing all the right things, then search my channel, look for some of those thyroid videos, or I will link to some of them in the notes. And I don't care if your doctor said your thyroid is normal, or if you've been told for years it's not your thyroid, it still might be your thyroid, and the videos will explain to you why. But maybe it's not always thyroid. I think it is a lot of the time, but getting back to, like, I don't think anyone should have to starve. I do think there comes a point where calories matter, but I think we said this in End Your Carb Confusion. I've heard Dr. Westman say it, but I've heard many other professionals say it. Calories count, but that doesn't mean you have to count them. Meaning at some point, taking in excess energy in the form of food, if you take in more than your body needs, yeah, you're probably not going to lose weight because you're sort of like in balance. What you're taking in is what your body is using, so there's no deficit. But counting calories, I don't think is the best way to help your body release the extra. Because if it was, I just think most of us would have lost the weight decades ago, right? How many people are on this cycle for years and years and years? And if it was just a matter of just eating less and less and less and less, well, nobody would be overweight, you know. But that literally goes against human physiology. It goes against our natural biology. We don't want to be hungry all day. So one of the nice things about keto is that when you're really fat adapted, when the carbs are really out of your system, you're like really humming along on fat, most people find that their hunger is much more well controlled. They're able to go much longer between meals without snacking, without even thinking about food. Maybe it takes less food to fill them up at a meal. So keto in that regard works with your body and it works with your biology rather than shoehorning yourself and like forcing yourself to go hungry, like white knuckling hunger all day. Like when you count points and you count, I don't know, count calories and like, oh, I'm out of points for the day. I'm out of calories for the day. I guess I'm not allowed to eat for the rest of the day, even though I'm about to gnaw my own fist off. So, but okay, this lady in the comment, and maybe some of you watching, already doing keto, although she said she has a hard time sticking with it. And I think she has a hard time sticking with it because she says, I'm never full. I never feel full and satisfied. And so I think she's trying to restrict and restrict. And she's, you know, I say, if you think you need more protein to fill up and to be satiated and to go several hours, that eat more protein. And she's worried that eating more protein is going to, you know, put her over her calorie limit. Well, I do think most women, especially an older woman who is active, probably could benefit from, you know, a decent amount of protein. Don't ask me what decent is, but I just wouldn't want an older woman who's very active to be restricting protein in any way. You don't have to gorge on it, but I may have to get in touch with this woman and get a little more information because I would want to know what she's already eating now. You know, when she says, I'm never full, I never feel satisfied. Well, I don't know what she's currently eating, right? I don't know why she's not satisfied. Maybe it's actually a very small shift that she needs in her food. Maybe we don't need to be adding a ton of protein or a lot of anything else. Maybe there's just, I don't know. But I think you have to also stop thinking so much about the scale. Because I guarantee you, this person who left that comment and some of you watching, I guarantee she doesn't necessarily want to lose 10 pounds. She wants to be smaller. She probably wants to lose a dress size. She maybe wants to fit into a pair of jeans that she hasn't worn in 10 years. I don't know. Most of us don't necessarily care about the number on the scale. Some of us do, but most of us want to have a certain appearance. We want to have a certain physique. And I've got news for you, everybody. There's no number on the scale that's going to guarantee that you have that appearance or that you have that physique, right? I've mentioned many times in videos previously, years and years ago, I was heavier than I am now. I weighed more, but I was leaner. I was smaller. So I'd be willing to gain weight. I'd be willing for my scale weight to go up if I was smaller and leaner and happier with my appearance. So I don't even really think this woman wants to lose 10 pounds. What she wants to do is look different. She wants to look a little bit different. So don't be wedded to a number on the scale, because I think that a large part of this, and I hate to say it, it pains me to say this, is that we have to build some more muscle. We have to build muscle, and that helps us kind of burn fat. When we build lean tissue and we use it, we maintain that muscle, and having more muscle mass will help you look different. It's how many have you seen, like, there's so many images online of the same person. Now this was older photos too, like long before there was so much photo doctoring. you would see a before and after of the same person at the same weight, but their physique was completely different, right? Because they had put on a lot of muscle and lost some fat. So they weighed the same, but they looked very different. So that's, those of you that are only looking to lose a small amount of weight, I really think that's important for you to keep in mind, that you actually don't necessarily have a goal weight. You have a goal appearance. And there's no guarantee that if you do lose those 10 pounds, that you're going to look the way you want to look. What if you do lose the 10 pounds and you still are not happy? So that's why we really have to think about why. Why is it so important for me to lose this weight? And is that even what I want? Do I want to lose 10 pounds or do I want to look different? Do I want to be smaller? Because those are not the same thing. They're not the same thing. But I also think, getting back to like nuts and bolts here, rather than eating less and less and less, which I don't think is a great thing for the human metabolism, for the human metabolic rate, I think there's ways to ramp up your metabolism so that you give yourself room to eat more. And if you really get active and build muscle, I think you give yourself a little more room for food. And I don't know how to explain this in a more scientific way, but I just think that building a lot of muscle not only really does kind of help you look very different, even if your scale weight stays the same or actually goes up, you will look different, but having all of that lean tissue, that lean metabolically active tissue, can help increase your metabolic rate, meaning that you would be able to eat more. So I think, ultimately that's long term, that's kind of what we have to do. Because the alternative is to just eat less and less and less. And not only does that suck, it's not fun, but who could sustain that forever? Going back to what I said at the very beginning of this video, and I know it's been a weird rambling stream of consciousness, but I told this woman on the YouTube comment, thank you for this comment. It's such a great topic. You've inspired a video, because there's no way that I could have said all of this to her in a YouTube comment, right? So I just don't think any adult human of any age should have to starve themselves to lose weight, or should have to be hungry all day, should have to restrict their food intake to the point that they're just thinking about food all day. And like, if that's the case, if the only way your body can let go of excess weight is by just depriving it of energy, then I think something's wrong. It could be thyroid, it could be some other hormone, it could be, I don't know what, maybe you're taking a medication that makes it more difficult to lose weight. There's a lot of things that affect weight, but just no one is ever going to convince me that this is all about calories. And even if it is, like I said, calories, count, but that doesn't mean you have to count them. Even if it is about calories, why should a grown adult who's active, have to eat only, 900 calories, 800 calories, whatever it is? And I mean, she said 1,200 in the comment, because 1,200, what woman hasn't heard, oh, we should eat 1,200 calories? I don't know where that came from, but I don't know, nonsense women's magazines have been telling us that for decades, although I kind of think they're moving away from it. But that's just like a standard thing we've heard, 1,200 calories? Who the hell ever said that should be the rule for women? But it's a whole other video. I don't think that we should have to eat so little. And if you do, if that's the only way that you can lose excess weight, then look into some of these hormone imbalances, because the question would be, why is your metabolic rate so low? Why is it that you can only lose excess weight when your calorie intake is so super, super low. There's other people eating tons and losing weight, or eating tons and not gaining. The human body is a wondrous creature, my friends. Wondrous and infuriating. And I'm so sorry to this person who left me the comment. I probably didn't give you anything useful here to go on, but you're not alone, certainly. I can tell you that for sure. So many people struggle with weight, especially, retiree age women, menopausal, postmenopausal women, but it's not impossible. I know tons of women of a certain age who have lost lots and lots of weight. But now, have they reached their goal? Maybe not. They might still be carrying 10, 15, 20 extra pounds, but they've already lost 70. They've already lost 90. They've reversed their type 2 diabetes. They've reversed their fatty liver. They're off their blood pressure meds. They don't have any more heartburn and joint pain. All this great stuff is happening. And then they might have to ask themselves, okay, here I am now. Do I even need to lose these next 10 pounds? Why is it such a big deal for me to lose these last 10? Really, truly, what will be different about my life? Am I going to wake up and just love everything all of a sudden just because there's a magical number on the scale? Probably not. So, you really, really have to examine, what is it about this last bit of weight that is so important for you to be rid of it? And again, if your answer is, I really want to look dynamite in this one dress that I have, that's a perfectly reasonable goal. But then, how much work are you willing to put in to achieve that goal? And I often say, what got you here won't get you there. Meaning, keto, low carb, carnivore, whatever you've done to lose an initial amount of weight. Okay, great. Now here you are. You're in a very different position. Your body is just different than it was 50, 100 pounds ago, 20 pounds ago, whatever. You might have to go a little further. Maybe you do need to restrict more if you're not going to do something to get your metabolism back up. Maybe there is some intense exercise involved. Maybe there's a lot of muscle building involved. Maybe there's some pharmacotherapy involved. What? Work with a medical professional who you trust, who can guide you safely if that's something you want to explore. So I've rambled for 22 3/4 minutes, and I probably haven't actually said anything useful. So if anyone is still subscribed to this channel, thanks. But these are the topics. This is real, people. This is the real world. This is real weight loss. It's not like, oh, just do this, just do that. My magical weight loss hack. Give me a friggin' break. Let's talk about real people in the real world who hit roadblocks like this. So, ma'am, thank you so much for the comment that inspired this, because it's a conversation, right? Maybe I don't have to give answers. I can just open up the conversation. Hopefully, we'll get some good comments. Maybe other people will have advice for you, but it's my advice. It doesn't sound like you have a thyroid issue, but I would need to know more. But it's honestly, okay, 23 minutes and 40 seconds in, and I will say something else. And I just lost my train of thought, everybody. What was I going to say about these last few pounds? I don't know. And I know as soon as I stop recording, I'm going to remember. Let me close out before this gets worse. It's an ongoing conversation. The struggle is real. That's all I can really say about it. This stuff is not always easy to navigate and to figure out. But we're in it together. We're navigating it and figuring it out together. If you're still watching, thank you for putting up with me and bearing with me. I'm a real person, everybody. I don't have all the answers. See you next time. Keep the crazy out of your keto.